All right, Shalom. This is Harawan Banya Sha'ala of the Lions Den Camp. Want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amal. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Hey, man, what's the time? It's 6 o'clock now. I say about 5:45, all right, 5:30 a.m. this morning. I went outside and saw a chariot, all right? And the witness that was with me saw the chariot as well. You see that? Um, when we saw it, it's like it was different this time, all right? And it's amazing every time you see a chariot, and you'll notice it because it'll be like a star that comes out of the sky, and he'll even let you know that it's truly an angel because it'll go back up into the sky. He said that a big star just come down out of the sky right over top of you, and then go straight back up out into the heavens. It might streak or it might go across the sky, and like a bright star, you know. But this one came down real low and took its time and then went back up real slow into the heavens. All right. At the moment, I said a little silent prayer in my spirit. Right immediately in the midst of that thought or prayer, that's when the chariot popped up. All right. So with that thought in mind, I want to read the scripture. Okay. Before I get into my next lesson. This is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. All right, so we've seen signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, especially these past few years. New moons, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, blood moons, blue moons. I mean, red, black, uh, all kind of shit. Put it like that. I was about to say the sun blacked out, but I just said that. That was a lunar eclipse. All right, or the sun turned blood red. There's all kind of shit, man. You have meteors, and, all right. So that's what times we're in. The heavens are being moved out of their place at the Lord's arrival. It says, and this, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. Right, you have a bunch of coronal mass ejections that came from the sun, solar blasts and shit. All right, so this is the times that we're in right now. Look at the weather. Look at the nor'easters that's happening from with the snow. All of that comes from the sun. All right, that the Lord created. It says, and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations and perplexity. All right, let's get that word distress. It's G4928. All right, let's get it. So on the earth, there's what? Anxiety. Whew. That's right, man. That's what Esau is doing. Uh, stoking up that anxiety in the people. All right, and 2/3 of our people gonna get caught out there being hopeless. All right. So it says what? A holding together, a narrowing. You see that? Even you can look at that in every area or aspect of life around the world today. The scriptures say, when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. All right. When the righteous are in authority, the people shall rejoice. So it says restraint, straits. So we in the time of the straits, and that's what the Lord told us to enter in a different way when we teach. When we teach and go out into them streets, before all hell was breaking loose, we were getting scoffed at, persecuted, people talking shit. There's more to come. There's more to come, man. Demonizing of the men of the Lord. But I remember, and a lot of you out there can remember, if you look back at the videos, People will scoff, debate you. The Lord said in the end times there shall come scoffers. All right. Threats of arrest. People come up swinging at you, trying to get you locked up. All kind of shit, man. Calling the police on you, lying. The shit you went through with your woman and your family once you had that initial break off. You know, once you got into the truth and they all resented you, you entered in to those straits. And the Lord said you got to enter in that way through the straits, through the straight gate. You know, you're going to deal with anxiety and what you would call depression. But that's what the Lord said. What? The scriptures. This is this First Thessalonians 4:16. Um, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. So when Yahweh Shai descends, just like he came down over Egypt, he's going to come down out of the chariots, all right, from the heavens, I mean. And he's going to descend with a shout. And that word shout, all right, now that word shout in the Greek is kaliuma, all right, kaliuma. And it means a cry of incitement. And what do they say when you're out there teaching? Or they try to threaten you and say you're inciting a riot. So when the Lord shows up, he's going to incite us on what to do. All right, he's going to say, fight, Kwam Yashala, come up hither or something. All right, it says an order, a command. He's going to say, come up hither. All right, that's in the book of Revelations. It says, either that by which animals are roused and urged on by man. It's like when you see a dog fighting, and you're like, come on, man. Come on, you got it, come on. Right? You're encouraging the dog. That's what the Lord going to do when he show up. He's going to encourage us. He's going to be speaking, you know, and we're going to understand him. It says, as horses by charioteers. So when a horse rider is on the chariot, and he's like, yeah, come on, Night Thunder. Yeah, come on. That's how Yahweh Shai gonna be. He gonna push us to fight, you know, and to keep pushing. Amazing. It says to be urged on by man, a horse by charioteers, hounds by hunters. Right? When you got a bloodhound and Yahweh Shai is gonna represent that hunter. And we're gonna be the bloodhounds, spiritual bloodhounds, man. That's a lesson. All right, so you're gonna raise up hunters, and they shall hunt them. It says hounds by hunters, etc., or that by which a signal is given to men, rowers by the master of a ship. All right, keep pushing, go, and he's gonna show up. Man, you know, as one that returns from a long journey. All right, it says to the rowers by the master of a ship. He's the captain of the seas, right? The captain of our salvation. To soldiers by a commander with a loud summons, a trumpet call. All right, so he's going to descend with the trumpet. And that's going to be the real sign. All right, and then he's going to say this. All right, this is Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice. So who's the they? It's talking about the elect. Those are the ones that are going to hear his voice. I did a lesson a while ago on sheep. That when the shepherd calls them, they only react to that voice. There's a level that we haven't reached yet. We're coming to a high precipice of faith, but on another scale, when the Lord exalts us, man, before he gives us new bodies, all right, we're gonna hear his voice, you know, in this realm, and he's gonna say, come up hither. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them. So, wow, we're gonna hear his voice in that day. All right. come up hither. So we're going to be able to fly, or the chariot's going to beam us up. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and the enemies beheld them, man. So at that moment, we're going to be ascending up into chariots, man, like I saw tonight. All right. And he said, this morning, into a cloud, and that cloud is a chariot of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay. So we're gonna hear his voice. And he's gonna encourage us, like this, you know. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. All right, because I'm trying to catch the thought, because if you think about it, there's it's like waiting for Yahweh Shah to show up, but we can't get to a certain level until he shows up. Our reward is with him, you know. So let me just read this. 1 John 3:2. Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh. See, once you're in the truth and you're sincere, you're calling out Abba Father again, according to Galatians. But many are called, but few are going to be chosen. All right, to be Yasha Allah, princes of the Most High again. So at that point, there's going to be a point where the enemy's going to come in rushing like a flood, and the Lord's going to lift up a standard against them with the angels. All right, and spiritual abilities. But he said, so now are we the sons of God. So at that point, you're going to know that you're most likely one of the elect. All right, right now we're hoping. All right. And it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. See that? Even though we're in this truth, the Lord says you're going to become a new creature. It still has not appeared what we're going to become yet. You know, eye have not seen, ear have not heard what the Lord has in store for those that love him, man. But we know, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know. See, we know, and now you know. If you didn't already know, if you don't know, now you know. But we know that when he shall appear, at that moment when he appears, man, not after, not before, but at that moment when Yahweh Shah appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is, man. All right. And once we lay eyes on him, it's going to do something to us. It's going to activate us like sleeper cells. You know, we're going to be praising him. All right. This is 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. So Yahweh Shah is going to descend from heaven with a shout, man. All right. This is Acts 1:7. 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? So when Yahweh Shah was being taken up, the disciples were asking him, hey, Lord, Yahweh Shah, is it at this time when you're going to restore the kingdom, since you're going up to the Father? All right. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons, which the Father hath put in his own power. All right. The day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. But ye shall receive power. See, and the Lord was talking to the disciples, saying, after he left, the Spirit was going to be sent upon them with spiritual abilities. All right. And that same spiritual power is going to be given back to those same men in these times. But ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you. See, the Spirit is already upon us. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. All right, so that's what time we're living in, when the word is being spread to the uttermost parts of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up. So as they looking, that's when Yahweh sent the angels to come get him. And a cloud received him out of their sight. And that's what's going to happen to the elect. They're going to be received into the clouds, into the chariots, out of people's sight. All right? But the heathens are going to see the elect being taken up in the chariots. Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, I mean, it's like up into the sky, man, to the firmament. All right. Behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. Okay. And these were real angels. It wasn't a projection. It was real angels that were standing next to the disciples. And so they had on white apparel. Verse 11. Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Whew. All right, so the same Yahushai that left, he's going to return and descend the same way he ascended into heaven. All right, he's going to descend. Uh, all right, so 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself, Yahushai, shall descend from heaven with a shout and with the voice of an archangel. See that? So we're going to hear his voice. We're going to hear the voice of an archangel and with the trump of Yahweh. See? So we're going to hear his voice, man. And if anybody that has died in those times, they're in the ground, they're going to come out of the graves and be risen up. All right? And there's going to be some that returns with Yahushai already having their bodies, their new bodies. It says, with the voice of the archangel and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Now, what rise means to prepare for a long journey, meaning to travel. So he said, those that be uh, uh, have died and passed on, they're going to be with him. Okay, let me get to the point. So he's going to descend from heaven with a shout, man, from the same chariots that we're looking for. Okay. It says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. So shall we ever be with Yahushua, man. So from that point, the shepherd will never be taken from the sheep again, and we'll never be scattered. All right. Only thing we'll be able to do is what? Increase. So we which are alive and remain shall be taken up together with them in the clouds. All right. So you're going to meet uh, the rest of the elect in the chariots if you're here on this earth. Okay. And Yahushua is going to be in the chariots too, in a big chariot. But the Lord going to send out his angels to gather the elect and bring them to him. But first you're going to hear that voice, that shout, and the trumpet. All right. Now there was a time when Yahushua was sent down here by Yahweh to speak to Moses face to face. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this first. Actually, I get that. This is Psalm 68:17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000. He coming with more chariots than that, though. Even thousands of angels, and the Lord is among them. Yahushua is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. All right, and that's what I'm about to read to you. It says, "Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts for men, yea, for the rebellious also, that Yahweh might dwell among them. Blessed be the Lord who daily loaded us with benefits, even the God of our salvation." All right, Salah. Uh, he that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord, belongeth the issues of death. All right, so there's nothing to fear when Esau threatens. Well, when you're threatened with death, put it like that. All right, Psalm 68:17. So it says, the chariots of Yahweh are 20. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and the Lord is among them. All right, as in Sinai. So let's get it. All right, so this is an example of how Yahweh Shai is going to show up. He's talking about the trumpet and hearing his voice and how the earth going to shake, you know. But he's coming more glorified than that, because he says he's coming in his own glory to be glorified, and he's coming in the glory of the holy angels and of Yahweh. So Exodus 19:11. So this is the moment when Yahweh Shai showed up with a bunch of angels and chariots and came to meet Moses face to face. Exodus 19:11. And be ready against the third day. All right. And that's spiritual right there. For the third day, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai will come down in the sight of all the people upon the Mount Sinai. All right. So they saw his aura or outline, if you want to call it that, on top of a mountain. But they couldn't go up to see him. They couldn't touch the mountain or anything. Like he's the celebrity, the celebratory, right? And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through, talking with an arrow, whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, then shall they come up to the mount. All right, when we hear the trumpet, the hopeful elect, gonna be taken up into the chariots, man. Like the chariot I just saw this morning. It was beautiful and bright. You know, I had to tell my lady, like, yo, get out of the car, look at this, man. Because it's like right over us. And it was huge coming down out the sky. And then I knew it was going to go up. As I was saying it was going up, it went straight up into the heavens. Got smaller and smaller. Just like when Yahweh Shai left, it was taken up. All right. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people. And they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives, meaning keep yourselves, don't have sex with your wife at that moment. Verse 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings. So when Yahweh Shai shows up, there's going to be thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mountains. It says, thick clouds, like spoken of in Ezekiel chapter 1. All right, enfolding itself, meaning it's moving forward, right? It's moving forward towards them, and it's melting the elements as it moves through them. And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud. All right, so that's that voice we're going to hear, the voice of the trumpet, and the voice of the archangel, Yahweh Shai, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. People going to tremble at his presence, man. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So that was Yahweh Shai. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahweh Shai descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and Yahweh Shai answered him by a voice. All right, so he spoke to him, man. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. All right, so we're gonna be called up into the chariots, and we're gonna go up. All right, this is Revelation 19, um, and 11. I start with this one. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, man. That white horse represents that chariot that he's showing up in. All right, giant chariot, man, cloud, what they call a cloud. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. All right, so he's sitting upon this big giant white chariot, or not white, but what you would call bedazzled chariot, meaning glittering or glowing. All right, sparkling. Matter of fact, why not? All right, this is that word white, where it says white chariot. It says light. All right, Light. Light. All right, Lucos. So this is a. It says what? His eyes were a flame. Wait, where is it at? 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a a light glowing horse. Let's see what the horse. All right, something that you ride upon. Okay, so basically a chariot. And it says a hippo, and a hippos is a water horse. All right, I tell my daughters that all the time. Just like on Frozen, that movie Frozen had the water horse. If you got children, you know what I'm talking about. Girls, little girls. But and what do you call the sky or the heavens? You call it Shemayim, the waters. And this chariot is like a water horse that you just ridden through the waters, man. All right, not upon land. It's made for the waters, the heavens. All right, that's why they call it a hippo. Anyway, verse 11, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. So it was glowing. All right, brilliant from whiteness, dazzling, as I said earlier, of the garments of angels. So when it said they had on white, it's talking about dazzling, glowing light, and of those exalted to the splendor of the heavenly state. So the elect are going to be given that same splendor. All right, and the ones that are in the truth that die and go to heaven in the spirit realm, they're going to be given that same splendor. Garments of white, righteousness. All right, verse 11, 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. All right. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, just like in Revelations 1 and 3. So what's that? 1 and 13. All right. Uh his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. All right, once the Lord destroys all these nations, that's what they represent, all these kingdoms. Get to the point. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he himself is a third person um, approach, with saying him and those that are like him are only ones that are going to know him. All right. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh, the Word of God. So this talking about Yahweh Shah. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. So when he showed up with Moses, he had the angels following him. And the same thing when he shows up now. He's going to have the angels with him in chariots. And he's going to send out his chariots to gather the elect. All right. Um, and it says the angels followed him upon white horses in their chariots, man. Just like in the book of Ezekiel. Clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. All right. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of Yahweh, of the Almighty God. All right. So this is the same one that's going to return, Yahweh Shai, the same one that came down out of heaven to tread the winepress before. All right. During the time of Moses, when he delivered the children of Israel from Egypt, and he brought hell, death upon the Egyptians. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 15. Thine almighty word. All right. So Yahweh is the Almighty, but his word is wisdom, the spirit of truth. But Yahweh Shai represents that. He's the physical embodiment of it. Thine almighty word, see, I just proved that in Revelations. Yahweh Shai leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war in the midst of a land of destruction. And that's what he's going to do again. All right. He's going to leap down out of heaven from his royal throne as a fierce man of war or angel of war into the midst of the land of destruction. And today, America's that land of destruction. All right. Luke 21 and 28. Oh, no. I'll start from 26. Men's hearts shall be failing them. So their minds, their confidence, their pride, all their plans and hopes and dreams. Instead, they're going to be stuck in what? Anxiety. All right. Depression, doubt, death, wickedness. So men's heart are going to be failing them. Their mind, okay? For fear. See, the fear is it's going to go from anxiety to fear. For fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. See, they're being shaken now. And the word shaken means to be what? To waver, agitate, rock, topple, or by implication destroy. Figuratively, to disturb, incite. So the Lord going to trouble the waters, man. He's going to destroy Esau's kingdom. He's going to agitate or disturb the heavens, the orbit of the planets and stuff. And he's going to shake the earth with his presence. And also when the missiles hit, the scriptures say the earth shall reel to and fro. All right, Luke 21 and it's 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So you're not going to see it on a projection. You're not going to see it on some, um, projection in the sky. You're going to project his face. No, that's not it. You're going to see him coming in the clouds, and every eye shall see him, right? Even the wicked. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up. I'm going to go to 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So we're going to see his chariot. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up. So a lot is coming to pass right now. They even pushing the chip right now, man, especially over in Sweden. They're setting up the system for it in front of our face, you know? So a lot of prophecy have already come to pass. We only got a few more prophecies until Yahweh Shai shows up. Once he shows up, we're out of here. The chip, civil war, dollar crash, missiles. All right. Because I say the dollar crash because it's gonna bring what? Famine. All right. So the chip is gonna be pushed on the world scale, man, as the world currency. Okay. And America has the world currency. So that's why they're saying they're not gonna do away with the dollar. This is gonna take away all its spending power as we're seeing today. So they're gonna move from the fiat currency of the dollar and they're gonna call it a digital dollar in a basket of currencies. And to cap that new currency SDR choice is going to be what? A RFID chip to be connected to it. It's just common sense, man. They're going to move from a fiat currency, paper currency all around the world, and they're going to move to digital dollars. All right. Um, but the Lord said this, man. So as I was doing tonight, yeah, that's the spirit you should be in. You know, of course you gotta watch the ground. You gotta see where you're walking, right? But at times, man, find a quiet spot and look to the heavens and say thank you, or say I'm waiting for you. You know, the water. I believe in you if I don't see any chariots until the last day. But I know you're out there. If you'll see one, man, he'll send one just to increase your faith. That's what he wants in these days. He want to increase our faith. And Yahweh has given Yahweh Shai certain things that he can show us to encourage us. And one of those things is what? The chariots, man. The prophecies, his scriptures, the prophets, the elders, the brothers, the believers. Once you meet a person that believes, right? You teach them, then they believe. That spark is an experience that was given to us for our encouragement. All right. So to see the chariots is a blessing because that's truly our salvation, our way out, our blessing. All right. And when these things begin to come to pass, not come to pass, he ain't say when these things come to pass. He said when these things begin to come to pass. They're beginning now. He said, what? Look, uh, then look up. See, if you go back to Acts, as I was reading earlier, the angel told the disciples, he said, yo, why y'all looking up? Do you know he's going to show up the same way as he left? And in that day, that's when you look up. But right now, you need to look to the earth because the Lord's going to give you power from on high, power to tread over serpents, power to heal the sick and raise the dead. So you got to get your footwork, do the groundwork. You see that? But now the Lord like, yo, look up. Lift up your eyes, man, unto the heavens. All right. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.